Alex, are you on your way home yet? I'm getting your supper ready. You will be home by the time it's done, won't you?
I don't need any supper.
What? Wait, are you still mad with me?
Duh, I'm pissed with your arrogant and condescending attitude. You do know you're in the wrong, don't you? I'll come home as soon as you apologize.
How am I arrogant and condescending? All I did last night was give you a gentle warning.
Well, it was uncalled for. I don't need you meddling in my shit. And I won't tolerate it. Keep your stupid advice to yourself.
You were being rude. I had to say something. I can't believe you'd say something so horrible to your sister when she's undergoing fertility treatment.
What's wrong with asking my sister how much her IVF treatment costs? Geez, you act like I shot someone. The way you apologized to her made it seem like I was the bad guy. Have you even stopped to think about how out of line that was? You were damn wrong, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Your sister's fertility treatment is a delicate topic, Alex. Not only that, but when she told you how much it was, you kept making disdainful comments on how expensive it was, and how you thought she was crazy for carrying on with it. Nobody needed to hear any of that, and it wasn't your place to say. It's one thing to have opinions. No one can hold that against you. But to voice them in such an inappropriate way, causing so much hurt to someone very obviously going through a hard time? Seriously, I have no idea what possessed you to think that that was an acceptable way to behave.
Jeez, woman. Get off my back. I was just making conversation. Besides, she was the one who came over and spoke to me after finishing up with the gynecologist. If she didn't want me to ask questions, then she should have left me alone.
You're her little brother. She's obviously going to come over and say hi if she sees you around town.
But she didn't just say hi, did she? She spoke to me about her fertility treatment.
Isn't that because you asked her whether she was pregnant yet? People don't necessarily only go to the gynecologist when they're pregnant. They go for all kinds of things like tests and consultations too. I don't think you should go around asking people about deeply intimate private affairs like that, even if they do happen to be your sister.
Shut the heck up, you annoying whiny banshee. You're like a goddamn broken record. There's no issue here. She's my brother's wife, and I can speak to her however I goddamn well please. So why should I have to walk around on eggshells with my own family?
Family or not, there are some things people don't want to be asked about. You haven't been asking the women at work weird questions too, have you? We live in an age where people are quick to report things, and society has become super sensitive to all kinds of harassment. You always hear stories of bosses getting in trouble for passing comments in the workplace these days. I think you should be a little more careful.
Geez, Patricia, I know all this crap. Why do I need to hear it from you, my wife of all people? It doesn't take a genius to know you need to be careful about what you say in an age of cancel culture and political correctness.
Fine. Forget I said anything.
It's exactly this attitude of yours that pisses me the hell off.
It's not like I'm trying to be condescending or anything. I'm only saying these things because I love you.
And why do I need you to warn me about anything at all? You're not in a position to warn anyone about anything. Stop acting like a know-it-all, you pathetic high school dropout.
I'm not trying to be a know-it-all, Alex.
Shouldn't you be thinking about your own position instead of giving me unsolicited advice?
My position?
I'm a full-time employee with a steady long-term contract at a prestigious major global company. And you're a housewife who works some crummy part-time supermarket job. Where the hell do you get off acting like such a big shot?
I'm really not trying to act like a big shot, not at all.
I pay for you to exist, woman. I feed you, I clothe you, and I keep a roof over your head. You do well to remember that. You don't get sassy with the man of this house.
Please, Alex, why won't you try to understand where I'm coming from? I feel like everything I say automatically gets interpreted as an attack.
You're the one who doesn't understand anything. Just stop barking orders at me and we won't have any problems. I don't need your advice, 'cause thinking is a man's job. Reply unnecessary.
Alex, there's a parcel here for you. Did you buy something else?
What's the problem if I did? I bought it with my hard-earned money. What does it have to do with you?
I'm asking you because it does have something to do with me. I warned you about the spending on your credit card being way too high just last month. You've already used up this whole month's allowance already, and it's only the 5th. You're halfway into next month's budget, for crying out loud.
So what?
So stop spending money we don't have.
What's the issue here? We can still get by.
Only because I'm covering the excess with my wages from my part-time job.
So let me ask you again. What's the issue here?
There are nothing but issues here. You promised you'd leave my savings untouched so we could save for our future.
There's no harm in me spending a little here and there.
A little here and there? We haven't been able to save a cent in months now, Alex. Would you just cut it out and start thinking about our future for once? You have no idea how expensive things could get for us down the line. What about when we have kids? What about when we get old? What if one of us gets sick? We can't afford to be this irresponsible.
Are you still freaking preaching at me, woman?
I wouldn't have to if you didn't waste our money.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Shut my mouth? God damn it, Alex. You're not a child anymore. It's about time you started taking the things I say to you seriously. These things are important, right?
Sure they are, but that doesn't mean you get to be on my back all the time like some freaking nagging machine that went into overdrive. Besides, this isn't even the first time I've heard any of this crap. It was only last week you wouldn't shut up about how my pension won't go very far. So obviously I need you to nag at me to save up extra money on top of it, do I? Because I'm clearly incapable of planning my own finances. God, you infuriate me.
Yes, I did say those things. And do you know why? Because you genuinely don't seem to have a clue about how to properly manage your finances. You're going to drag us both down into poverty if you don't stop your irresponsible spending soon.
And who are you, Warren Buffett? Is this how desperate to flex your financial knowledge that you'd belittle and demean your own husband? You think you're so much better than me, huh?
Huh?
Let me make one thing clear. It's not a woman's place to be clever. All I need you to do is smile, look pretty, and cook my meals. It's time you knew your place. Believe me, you'll be easier to love if you act like a ditzy moron instead.
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
It's like I told you before. Stop barking orders at me.
How am I barking orders? All I'm saying is that I want you to work with me, to be on my team. We're supposed to be a couple.
I am working with you.
No, you're not. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, here we go again. What do you do when I tell you to stop talking back to me? Argue and start talking back to me. God, you're annoying.
What? So I'm supposed to just stop speaking, am I?
I'll be bringing some divorce papers home with me today.
What? Divorce papers? Why?
So that the next time you take this cocky, insolent attitude with me, I can divorce you immediately.
What the hell?
You don't want to get divorced, do you? If you value this marriage, I suggest you start acting like my ideal wife. If you don't, I'll divorce you faster than boat runs 100 meters.
Aren't you being a little excessive here? How have you reached the conclusion that this is the way to fix our problems?
Because you won't keep your mouth shut and cook my meals like a good woman. If you won't do your job, I'll have to replace you with someone who will. You used to be so obedient and lovable. I knew it. It's not just women's looks that depreciate as they get older. They lose everything that once made them attractive.
I'm hardly swooning at your behavior right now either, Alex. Is there any reason for you to speak to me like that?
If you don't like it, how about you start working a little harder to make me like you instead of constantly answering me back? Barking orders at me over every little thing sure as hell is not a good way to keep me in your life. God, you piss me off.
For the millionth time, I wasn't barking orders. I just gave you a few gentle warnings about certain things I thought you might find helpful. It's precisely because I love you that I say the things I do. You think I'd say them just to anyone? Because I wouldn't.
And I'm telling you, I'm sick of your crap. I'm serious about the divorce papers. I suggest you think very carefully about your behavior from here on out.
Got it. So I just have to do what you say?
That's right. Never, ever get that cocky, arrogant attitude with me again. You're going to start doing exactly as I tell you. As long as you do that, I'll provide for you forever. Reply unnecessary. Hey, Patricia, where are you right now? Did you go out and buy groceries?
Why?
Why? Wait, are you serious? Why? Did you just question me? I just got back from work. You know what that means. It means I'm hungry. Hurry up and get your ass back home and cook me 3 meals, of course.
Why?
Cut it out. Stop asking questions you already know the answer to. Who do you think that feeds and clothes you? Who do you think keeps a roof over your head? I work full-time, moron. It's your job as my wife to make sure there's food waiting on the table for me when I get home.
Sorry, I'm an idiot, so I don't understand.
Huh? What? Are you making fun of what I said before? In that case, let me make your order simple. Get back home and cook my dinner now.
Why?
Okay, bitch. You listen to me and listen good. You're an idiot, so listen to my orders and do as I tell you. You don't need to think. Just do as you're told.
Yep, I did as I was told and filed the divorce papers. I won't be coming home ever again.
Huh? You filed the divorce papers?
You said it yourself, right? That I ever got cocky with you again, I was to submit the divorce papers? Well, you'll be pleased to know I did as I was told. Because I have no intention of doing what you tell me.
So that's why you filed them? You're joking, right?
It's the truth. Take a look around the house if you don't believe me. You'll see that all of my personal belongings are gone. I have zero intention of ever coming home again.
Don't screw around with me, Patricia. Why would you file divorce papers without my permission?
I don't get why you're so upset. You were ready for a divorce yourself, right? Why else would you demand my signature for the papers? Why else would you sign them yourself? If that's not the behavior of someone ready for a divorce, then what is?
That doesn't mean I wanted you to actually file them. Who does that? Why did you take me seriously?
Wait, you mean you weren't serious about divorcing? Were you just using it as a threat to scare me into submission?
No, it's not that I was threatening you.
So what's the problem? You should be pleased, right?
Not one bit. If I told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? You weren't supposed to do everything I told you, you idiot. Try using your freaking head for once, for God's sakes.
Huh? But didn't you say you'd rather have a stupid wife than one who thinks for herself? You should be celebrating. Besides, I was sick of the way you were speaking to me and spending our money like it grows on trees. When you walked in and slammed the divorce papers down in my face, I knew it was a blessing in disguise.
A blessing in disguise. Don't talk crap. Stop treating divorce so lightly.
You're the one who treated our marriage lightly, Alex. The fact you signed the divorce papers should have meant that you were fully prepared to go through with it. How can you be mad at me when you put your own signature on the dotted line?
But I didn't expect you to actually go and file them so quickly.
So why did you bring the divorce papers home in the first place? You ignored everything I said to you and constantly talked down to me. You forced me to sign them.
Go and get some more marriage registration papers now.
Why?
Don't ask questions. Do as I tell you. We're getting remarried. If you do that, I'll forgive you for this ridiculous stunt you pulled. Hey, Patricia. Reply to me. Hey, Patricia. I'm begging you. Please respond. Please. Seriously, I'm begging you. Respond to me.
I made it perfectly clear you were going to contact my lawyer if there was anything you needed to say to me. How many times are you going to spam my inbox before you get the message?
Screw the lawyer. I want to speak to you directly. Can we speak on the phone?
I'm on the move right now, so I can't.
I see. I heard you quit your part-time job.
Yeah, it's too far from my new house for me to make it.
New house? Where do you live now?
Like hell, I'm telling you.
Let's meet up and talk.
I don't have time for that. That's why I asked you to go through my lawyer.
But I want to speak to you. Patricia.
Well, I don't want to speak to you. Besides, the last time we met to discuss the distribution of asset with my lawyer, you followed me for 2 hours after we got done, when we were supposed to go our separate ways. That's why there's no way we're ever meeting again. I'll do everything in my power to avoid it.
But why? Why are you so desperate to avoid me? Not long ago, we were husband and wife.
But not anymore. We're nothing but strangers now.
Patricia, how about me and you give things another try? I'm genuinely sorry.
What's the point in apologizing now? It's too little, too late. I'm pleased, though. At least if you realize you were in the wrong, you might be able to become a better person and avoid making the same mistakes again. Maybe your next marriage will work out better.
But it's you I want, Patricia. No one else.
I thought you said I was annoying. You were livid every time I questioned your behavior, right? Why would you have any interest in being married to a woman who makes you feel like that? Are you sure you're not idealizing things?
I'm ready to come clean. It's time for absolute honesty, Patricia. I was never serious about divorcing. I just got mad when you nagged me about things. The divorce papers were nothing but a threat. I figured if I could scare you a little with the threat of losing me, you'd never nag at me, and we could live happily ever.
Huh? I didn't need you to tell me that.
Huh? Wait, you knew?
Yep, that was my hunch all along.
But if you knew, then why?
Because I couldn't forgive you for using threats to get your way. I was only ever thinking about what was best for us as a couple. But the only person you cared about was yourself. That's not all. You treated me like a piece of dirt on the bottom of your shoe. You mocked and ridiculed me for being a high school graduate, for being a woman, for being a housewife. You made me feel like I wanted to crawl into a hole and die. Maybe you couldn't tell or didn't care, but everything you said to me hurt me a lot.
I'm sorry.
As if the bullying and emotional abuse wasn't enough, you were wasting all of our money with your irresponsible spending habits on top of it. I told you this when you handed me the divorce papers. But I felt like an idiot for trying so hard to make our marriage work when you clearly didn't care. You trampled on my feelings at every single opportunity and made my life a living hell.
I'm sorry, babe. I mean it. If you give me one more chance, I'll never say anything to hurt you again. I'll never make fun of you for being a high school grad, a woman, or a housewife ever again. I swear. You can even give me advice and caution me about anything you want, and I'll never complain about it. I'll give you words, careful and thoughtful consideration.
It's too late for that, Alex. We're divorced now.
I know that, but I want another chance, baby. Please. I'm begging you. Let's give marriage one more shot. This time, things will be different. This time, I'll love you. I'll cherish you. I'll treat you with much more respect. You won't even believe I'm the same person. Please. You have to give me another chance here, Patricia. I can't get by on my own. The house is filthy. I've been living on a cup noodles, and unpaid bills are piling up.
Wow, are you kidding me? So the only reason you want us to get married again is so I can be your live-in servant because you're totally incapable of looking after yourself?
No, it's not like that.
I suggest you learn how to handle your own affairs. I did not marry you to be your personal butt wiper, you tragic man-child.
I'm telling you, baby, I can't do this on my own. I asked my parents, but they're completely ignoring me. I sent them 3 paragraphs explaining how desperate I am. And all they bothered to send me was 3 words, do it yourself. They won't even reply anymore.
Wow, so you went crying to mommy and daddy too? Is that why you're messaging me now? You really are a walking tragedy. I've never met a human being as incapable as you.
Stop it, Patricia. You think I enjoy being this way? It's not my fault. I lived with my parents right until we got married. How can you expect me to know how to live on my own?
I know that. That's why I tried teaching you how to do housework, among many other things when we moved in together. But every time I tried, you got mad because those things weren't a man's job. You said you'd give your all to make things work when we first got married. You promised to pull your weight. Sure, maybe you're in a crappy situation now, but do you know whose fault that is? Yours. You only have yourself to blame.
I really am sorry, babe.
Even a little kid can apologize. Your words are meaningless.
Surely you're struggling too, right, babe? It can't be easy to get back on your feet after a divorce as a part-time housewife. You know, you're more than welcome to live with me until you get your life back in order.
Oh, that's fine. You don't have to worry about me. I'm already working full-time.
What?
Did you think I just sat around doing nothing for the month after you slammed the divorce papers in my face and forced me to sign them? I thought seriously about my future and took the necessary steps to ensure I'd land on my feet after the divorce.
Patricia, please, I'm begging you. Please, will you at least think about remarrying me? You don't have to give me an answer now. Just let me know you'll consider it. I've been an idiot, a fool. I was the one who needed you all along.
That's great, honey. I'm pleased you finally understand. Unfortunately for you, I'm sick of you. You're the one who put divorce on the table. All I did was take you up on it. I'll never look after a wasteful, abusive, domineering lowlife like you again for as long as I live. Reply unnecessary. After that, I got a new phone and changed my number so my ex-husband wouldn't be able to pester me with his groveling messages. My lawyer did get a few more messages from Alex, but they were about the most pathetic things you could imagine, such as questions on how to pay the gas bill or how to sell a house. Eventually, even my lawyer reached his wit's end and told him to look into it by himself. A few weeks after the divorce, Alex's big brother paid his wayward sibling a visit to check up on how he was doing. Apparently, he found him huddled up in the corner of a filthy room full of empty cup noodle cartons and beer bottles, crying hysterically in the fetal position. It looks like his fundamental lack of basic life skills is finally coming back to bite him. According to Alex's big brother, his entire family has decided to operate on a tough love policy of not offering him any support, in the hope it'll lead him to finally learning the skills needed to live and support himself. And that's not all. Apparently, Alex started behaving so horribly to his subordinates at work after the divorce that he was summoned to a disciplinary meeting, demoted, and slapped with a huge pay cut. It was hard for me to commit to the divorce at first due to all the memories of how good things were at the start of our marriage. But eventually, I realized you can't live on memories, and I did what I had to do. Now, I don't have a single regret. I found myself a new job after moving, and now I'm super fulfilled by my somewhat hectic and incredibly rewarding work life. I don't have to tolerate abuse or wasteful spending from anyone anymore. Now I can finally live on my own terms while saving up money at my own pace. My stress levels are non-existent, and I'm having a blast. I'm so excited to find out what my fresh start holds in store for me. And for the first time in a long time, I'm filled with happiness and optimism